Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The Royals are 10-3 in deciding games this year, and this is a deciding game in the 3-game series with the Chicago White Sox. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre, and Joe Goldberg is coming up. James Shields said in August that he loves September baseball because the playoffs, or at least the playoff mentality, begins in September.
He's exactly right. It separates the men from the boys. Can they step up? In their minds of the Royals offense tonight, they've got to look at Chris Sale as a one-game playoff, a scenario that could happen in a couple weeks. Look at this ace like they're going to be facing later and say, we don't play tomorrow unless we beat this guy. Keep a focus like that and go out and get him.
Well, let's begin with Sale. I think we're going to see better pitching tonight than we did last night.
I hope so, and not quite as long, but all it's going to take is one, maybe two long balls. This guy's extremely stingy, but he has given up 11 home runs against right-handed bats. Can they get that one big hit? It's going to be up to that offense to score some runs for this guy.
Yordan Ventura leads Major League rookies in ERA, 3.27.
Now, he's going to have to be nearly perfect, but he has the ability. With those 3 pitches, he should be able to nullify that Chicago White Sox offense, keep his team in the game at least 6 innings, hand it to the pen to win.
Sale among the league leaders in many categories in the American League. Now, Ventura tied for the most wins in the major leagues with 12. He has the best ERA, and he has the 4th most strikeouts. So can the Royals beat Chris Sale? Sale has beaten the Royals 7 times. However, the Royals have beaten him 7 times.
Say of Derek Jeter, but Paul Konerko, very, very great career and one of the good guys in the game, being honored in his last appearance at Kauffman Stadium. He is injured, he won't play, but the Royals recognizing the longtime Chicago White Sox first baseman. Joel Goldberg back at Kauffman Stadium. Just heard Ryan and Rex talking about Chris Sale, and it looked like the Royals might face him 2 more times this year with the way the schedule looked. He faced them tonight, and then early next week it would be a matchup with Detroit, and then finish up the year against the Royals. But Robin Ventura has said that they're going to go to a 6-man rotation to end the year, and that would mean that the Royals will not see him next Sunday, although Ventura has said he could change things on that. But hopefully, good news for the Royals, they only see Sale once. The bad news is they still have to face him tonight. Talking to Josh Willingham about what a challenge he is, because he saw him a bunch in the division when he was with the Twins, and he said, oh gosh, the arm angle, he's got the stuff, the velocity, the breaking ball, and he knows how to pitch. And he said, add that breaking ball into a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, it'd be one thing if he threw 90, but he does not. So we all know it. The Royals will have their hands full with Chris Sale tonight, but they'll try to find a way to win the series. First pitch is next.
Royals baseball is brought to you by your Kansas City Chevy dealers. Make your move to Chevrolet today. By the Missouri Lottery, try the new Lucky Sevens playbook. And by AT Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. It is Roberto Clemente Day around Major League Baseball. And at the end of every season, there is a Roberto Clemente Award winner. Last year, it was former Royal Carlos Beltran after his year with the Cardinals, and given to the player who best exemplifies Roberto Clemente, not as a player, but what he does off the field. Every team has a nominee, and for the Royals this year, that was Eric Hosmer.
Fantastic. I'm going to tell you what, talking to players over the years, that's the most coveted award a player yearns for. What he can do on the field is one thing, but what you do for others off the field is what matters in life. Good luck to Hosmer. Hope he gets it.
Chicago White Sox even the series last night by beating the Royals 7-5, and now Robin Ventura's team has won 5 of 7 and 6 of 9. And here's his lineup tonight as they face Yordano Ventura for the second time this year and for the third time overall. Ventura, tonight's Kia starting pitcher.
Okay, he's been able to keep the ball in the yard. That's what's impressive to me in the last 50 innings pitched. Keep her down, execute his pitches. Now, 9 straight quality starts is wonderful. If we can make it 10, that would be even better, especially going up against a guy who doesn't give up many runs in Sale.
And let's see what Ventura and the Royals can do with Adam Eaton tonight. Adam Eaton in the first 2 games is 7 for 10. 2 doubles, a triple, and 4 runs scored. That's just in 2 games.
I'm telling you, nice level swing. Short, compact stroke. That ball didn't miss by much. Look at there's some 99. Ventura, he'll go anywhere from maybe 94 to 101. It's depending on his arm speed and what he wants to throw. He's got a curveball and a changeup. And those 2 secondary pitches are well advanced for this young 23-year-old hurler. Good command with both of them.
Jammed him. So a good start against Eaton. He's out in games 1 and 2. He opened the game with a base hit and eventually a run scored.
Good. First things first. Royals defense, Billy Butler. 22-11 in his starts at first base this year. And he's done a nice job when he's been out there. I mean, he's not just a guy who just stays at first base. He's made some good backhand plays. He's made some good feeds to the pitcher on the way to the bag while he's covering. Billy Butler has been a better player this year when he's playing both sides of the ball.
Alexei Ramirez into right center field, and Kane is there to make the play. 2 up, 2 down against Ventura. Giordano Ventura 1 year ago today made his big league debut. That was against the Cleveland Indians, and we've talked about it so many times. We saw his poise right away as he walked the first hitter he ever faced on 4 straight pitches, but then got a ground ball back to the mound. He turned that into a double play, struck out the next hitter, and away he went. Jose Abreu takes ball 1, just 2 for 9 in the series with 1 RBI. And only 3 RBIs all year against the Royals.
Amazing how they've been able to keep this big guy down. Tremendous power. Speaking of power, thing that impresses a lot of people about Ventura is how easy it looks coming out of his hand, the ball. His body doesn't have a lot of torque to it. It doesn't look like he's flying open. He's really free and easy. The ball just comes out electric out of that arm. Very smooth. What a gift he has.
Three and one on Abreu. Connor Gillespie is on deck.
That 2-seam fastball there is dangerous to righties. Sometimes it takes off. It'll get a piece of you if you're not careful, but pitching inside with that ball is good.
Full count. Going to try and put him away with a fastball, and it's high, and Abreu is on with 2 down.
Things to watch for on Ventura when he gets a little erratic like that last pitch is basically the same as any other pitcher or hitter that pulls his shoulder off. If your shoulder flies open as a pitcher, your arm's gonna drag behind and you're gonna leave the ball elevated. So the mechanics for a pitcher is really important, to be able to stay on top with your shoulder and drive downwards and make that downhill plane angle a little bit tougher on the hitter.
.99 for a strike to Connor Gillespie. He had the big hit last night. A 3-run triple in the 7th inning.
Cleared the bases.
Royals had a 5-4 lead, and in a flash the White Sox had a 7-5 lead, and that was the final. It was the first breaking ball of the night. 1-1 on Gillespie.
And that gapper took the wind out of the sails of the players and the entire crowd here at the K.
And I know in first game we were talking about him hitting cleanup for the White Sox. Not really a prototypical cleanup guy. Well, Robin Ventura knows, and he showed it last night, breaking up that incredible scoreless inning streak by Herrera and Davis.
1-2 on Gillespie. This is the third career start for Ventura against the White Sox, and the first two have been rough, giving up 8 runs in 10 innings and 4 home runs. And Abreu trying to move up to second base, and he will. Almost overslid the bag. In fact, Escobar thought that he did, and Don Wakamatsu in the Royals dugout runs to the phone.
Okay, this is a read. He wasn't stealing on the pitch, but he's able to read the ball down in the dirt. That is perfect. Now he could be off the base, but let's see it again. Very good reaction by Abreu. He's off the base there. If Escobar's got the tag on him there, he's out. Great job. Now this year, first year in Major League Baseball history that there's been replay. So the infielders know to keep the tag on the runner. Keep the tag on him the whole way until they call timeout. And that way, if he gets up off that base and there's any little bit of his foot off the bag, they'll replay it. I was just down with the umpires earlier before the game started, asking them about replays. Okay, now his foot there is on the base, but now it's off, and Escobar still has the tag on his leg. And I asked those umpires that these guys have all worked in New York in that replay room, and I asked them how it's going for them, and they said the umpires in New York see the play happen, and they automatically are starting to look before they even get the call. So that's why they're trying to keep the time so close as possible, under 2 minutes.
That didn't take very long. He is out. So a good catch by Bill Duplessis in the Royals clubhouse. And Gillespie will not bat for the runner in scoring position. The inning is over. To tonight's game, 14 games above 500, and they are 10 challenges above 500 after coming through on a play at second base. Jose Abreu first ruled safe, and then the call overturned after it was discovered that Alcides Escobar, who leads off, had the tag on Abreu as he slid over the bag. Royals lineup tonight, presented by your Midwest Ford dealers, has Josh Willingham as the DH. And Billy Butler at first base. Jason Nix is at third. All changes to face left-hander Chris Sale.
Now you look at this young man right here and you're going, wow, look at them. He's a tall drink of water. He sure is at 6'6". But I'm gonna tell you what, he is extremely difficult to square up and hit because he's deceptive. Those long arms and long legs, he flings them at the hitter, and it's a 3/4 sidearm delivery that is nasty. Stands up there, you try to pick up that baseball as soon as you can, but it's on you in a hurry. He'll go 90 to 97 with his fastball. He's got a slider and a changeup. He's been bringing his changeup in a lot more here in this last season, and he's really polished that pitch, and it's made the other two even more effective.
At the knees at 97, 1-2 on Escobar.
If you want to know how to approach a guy like Sale, be aggressive. You better get him before he gets you. Can't afford to take any pitches from him that much because he's a strike thrower. Throws a lot of strikes, very good command. So really, the way the Royals swing and everything, this is a good matchup for them. Be aggressive on him. There's 34 walks and 163 innings coming in.
Got him looking at a fastball. 97 again. 3 pitches in that sequence at 97 miles an hour.
White Sox defense, Alexei Ramirez, best among AL shortstops this year, fielding percentage, and offensively, not too shabby either. This young man, he's in line for a Gold Glove and a Silver Bat at that position. We'll wait and see how that all plays out. But in his walk year, he's picked a pretty good year to have a fine season.
And now Nori Aoki, who is 8 for 9 in the series and has reached in 9 of 10 plate appearances. And he extends that as he gets it by Abreu, who was right on the line. Nori's going to hold with a double. That makes him 9 for 10. That's his second double this series.
Exactly what I was talking about. Be aggressive on it. Early in the count, you can't sneak a piece of cheese by a hungry rat, and a hot rat at that. Abreu didn't exactly give it his best effort, it looked like, on that ball. But the Royals will take the right hop. Good job of stopping there. You're in scoring position. Abreu just had a hard time reaching out and gloving it. Don't get many opportunities with a runner in scoring position off Sale. So Lorenzo Cain desperately going to try to find any kind of hole.
Now Cain to the right side, and going out to get it is Simeon. By the way, that double by Nori Aoki, that's the second extra base hit by a left-hand hitter against Chris Sale all year, and that's over 163 innings.
Man, oh man, he is lava hot.
He's only allowed 18 hits to left-hand batters all season, and only 2 extra base hits. Now Josh Willingham with Aoki at second base. Used as a pinch hitter late in the game last night, and that's his only plate appearance of the series.
Didn't swing the bat at all. Make up for it here. Alexei Ramirez, a shortstop, playing him to pull. He's way over in the hole. Simeon, the second baseman, he's up kind of holding Aoki close. Any little ground ball base hits anywhere will take it. In a game like this of this magnitude, play it like it's a one-game playoff.
Three 3-0 on Willingham.
A little backdoor breaking ball. Mike Jershely, third base coach for the Royals. He knows that he may not get a chance to score many runs off Sale, so on a base hit, I guarantee you 99% he's sending him. You have to.
Four-pitch walk. Now Sale doesn't walk many, but the White Sox have walked the most hitters of any pitching staff in the American League. And it puts 2 on for Alex Gordon. That'll frustrate a manager. All the free bases all season long. White Sox have had their problems on defense. There aren't many teams who win when they lead the league in walks and they're among the league leaders in errors. I could be wrong.
No, if you don't catch the ball, you don't win. Pretty simple.
Alex gets a slider, 0-1.
That slider that he starts at the hitter ends up being a strike. So that's what a left-handed hitter will do next time he sees that pitch. He'll go, okay, if it starts at me, I know it's going to come over the plate.
One and one on Alex. Nice save by the catcher Tyler Flowers. Respectable.
Absolutely. 3 doubles, 2 RBIs.
That's in 46 at-bats against Sale. Only hitter with. There is only one hitter who has had more at-bats over the years against Chris Sale. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Get him early. If you don't get him now, he could settle in. Lots of times that pitcher, whether you're young or old, you're trying to gauge what your pitch looks like in that first inning. Which pitches are working for you.
3-1.
So it looks like to Willingham, he was a little careful with the right-handed batter, and now looks like with Alex Gordon, he's being extremely careful. Sure hope that's the case, young man.
Doesn't normally have problems in the first inning. And grounds it out to Simeon. He'll go the short way to get Willingham and end the inning. The Royals get a double and a walk. They strand 2 against Sale. No score. that, a Hall of Fame man, and lost his life Christmas Eve of 1972. Died in an airplane crash on his way to Nicaragua taking supplies to earthquake victims. And Eric Hosmer named the Roberto Clemente nominee for the Royals. The only man with exactly 3,000 hits. Roberto Clemente won 2 World Series with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Unbelievable human being, but what a player. Look at him on that front foot. He's off the ground with his back foot, all on his front leg. This guy, he had explosive action. He was a bad ball hitter. He would hit the ball wherever it was thrown, and he had a cannon for an arm. But his heart was as big as his country in Puerto Rico.
So all 30 teams have a Roberto Clemente nominee, and then at the end of the year there is one winner, and it's presented during the World Series. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast last year former Royal Carlos Beltran won the Roberto Clemente Award, which had special meaning for Carlos, also being native to Puerto Rico. Connor Gillespie was at the plate when Abreu was out trying to advance to second base on a pitch in the dirt. So he gets a fresh plate appearance, followed by Avisail Garcia and Diane Viciedo. Two and two.
Rhino, Puerto Rico, it's a great place. I played winter ball there one year. Is it considered a country, a state? What do they call Puerto Rico now? I know you don't need a passport to get to it.
It's not a planet.
Okay. I can agree with that. But it is a beautiful place, I can tell you.
Well, it's its own sovereign nation, but it's what, a territory of the United States?
There you go.
Part of the United States Commonwealth, to be most accurate.
Thank you.
Ventura wants it. Let him have it. Now Nix. Now that's a harder play for Nix.
Well, obviously, Billy Butler.
If I ever manage a major league team, which will never happen, the first thing I'm going to do is say pitchers can catch pop-ups. That's the first thing we're going to work on in spring training. PFP, pitchers fielding practice, is going to include pitchers catching pop-ups.
Ventura had it all the way. Where was the first baseman on that? You think Billy wanted any part of that? Wasn't even in the picture.
That was a hard play.
It was.
I mean, look at Ventura. He didn't have to move. He was going to catch it with 2 hands.
Yeah, that's just an unwritten rule that they do in baseball. They don't want the pitchers involved at all. Billy didn't want no part of it either.
How is it possible that a pitcher in each league wins a Gold Glove every year? Right?
Well, those are mostly comebackers and fielding bunts.
Avisail Garcia 4 out of 9 in the first 2 games. Good breaking ball. There haven't been many secondary pitches thrown by Ventura. All right, we're gonna have to play this for you a few times so you can understand. This was from last year in New York. That is Pedro Feliciano, which sounds like he should be singing in the opera. Now listen. And speaking of the opera, it was almost like a symphony listening to all the voices at once, because Feliciano on a pop-up, he knew I'm not supposed to handle the pop-up, so it was popped up. He's pointing it out. Nobody else can get there in time, and you can hear them all yelling at the same time. Petey, short for Pedro. Petey, Petey, take it, take it.
And then you saw, and then, he looked at him like, really? You're gonna let me catch it?
Right. So now that you know that, we probably should watch it one more time. As Garcia drives it to deep right, and Nori makes the play. Nori, take it.
That ball was juiced to the opposite field by Avisail Garcia. Good job. Turned Nori around, but he's able to keep his focus and glove it.
Listen.
That's one of my favorites.
But see what you did to the poor guy? Pedro Feliciano had a long career, but it was embedded in him that he's not supposed to handle pop-ups, and he was panicked when that was just clearly the easiest play for him to make it.
Oh, thanks for showing that, fellas.
All right, we'll put a cork in it and move on. 1 ball, 1 strike on Diane Viciedo with 2 down in the 2nd inning. Now, and Aoki coming up to make the play. Going back, coming in, swinging the bat. Nori's done everything in this series.
Except sell popcorn.
Look at those big eyes. He is wide awake at 7:38. Watching the Royals and the White Sox.
Glad you're here.
Royals got a couple of runners in the 1st inning against Sale. Nori Aoki doubled. Josh Willingham walked as Sale was able to get Alex Gordon to ground into a force out. 1-1 on Salvador Perez. This is Sal's 133rd start as a catcher this year, so he's 8 games away from the Royals record. And with him not swinging the bat well lately and over a longer stretch, he's tailed off quite a bit since the All-Star break. Ned Yost naturally was asked if he thinks Sal's wearing down, and Ned thinks it has more to do with Sal trying to do too much.
Ooh, man. Boy, that's a vicious fastball at 97 on the inner half. You better be extremely quick on that, or your bat will be in pieces. Good take. Sale wanted it.
Foul ground, and Abreu makes the catch for the first out. Talking about Roberto Clemente, our sprint question of the night. Which non-former NFL running back slash outfielder possess the best arm in the last 50 years?
Oh, so I guess that's excluding the great Bo Jackson.
There you go. If you were an NFL running back, you did not qualify for tonight's question. But there's 4 very good ones right there.
No question about that for sure.
What about Dave Parker?
He had a cannon. Ellis Valentine. I can tell you Andre Dawson. There's a lot of guys didn't make that list, but I can tell you that Raul Mondesi was proud of his arm, so much so he had a cannon, shooting a cannonball tattooed on his right shoulder.
Very modest tattoo.
Yeah. Big Daddy Vladimir Guerrero, he was incredible.
Philly ahead in the count, 2-1. Dwight Evans, another guy with a strong arm.
I think Cespedes could probably be in that group too.
Billy was 0 for 3 in game 1 on Monday with a walk. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Getting a chance to go back to first base as Eric Hosmer is left out of the lineup with Sale on the mound.
How about an unknown player named Corey Snyder? He had an 80+ arm.
Look out. And if you're wondering what 80+ means, scouts, and I've never really gotten a good answer because I've been asking this question for a while, but scouts forever have rated players and their individual tools from a 20 to 80 scale, 20 being the best or 20 being the worst, 80 being the best. So if somebody ever had an 80 arm or 80 power or 80 speed, that was top of the line. There's a trademark Sale slider, and he has his second strikeout. Saturday, Major League Baseball returns to Fox with the Royals and the Tigers. It'll be a crucial showdown in the division. Then on Fox Sports 1, we'll go to the National League Central with the Cardinals and the Reds. And the action starts at 11:30 a.m. on Fox and continues at 6 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Omar Infante with 2 down, nobody on. Line to center, but Eaton is there. 3 up, 3 down against Sale in the bottom of the second inning. The Royals and White Sox are scoreless. Brought to you by Panera Bread. A new location is opening September 20th at College and King in Overland Park. And by your Midwest Ford dealer. Visit yourmidwestforddealers.com.
The land of the rising sun. I can tell you in spring training of '93 over there in Miyazaki, a small island in southern Japan, as we're doing the exercises in the outfield, Ich-ni San-chi running, and the Japanese fighter pilots were flying over with their jets with the zero on the side. I was totally taken back by that. I was like, man, I'm in a totally different country, a place I've never been before, never experienced baseball over here. What's the summer gonna be like? It was a trip. Very exciting. Every day was a new adventure. In Aoki, 8 solid years there for the Yakuto Swallows. 3-time batting champion.
What island was it?
Miyazaki.
I think that's where Nori's from, right?
Might be. So he's getting the same culture over here in America that we got over there. I mean, it's totally different. Restaurants, ordering food, menus, different dialect, language, you know, the whole thing. It's a very, very life-growing experience.
Base hit to right field for Jordan Danks, who has a home run in the past against Giordano Ventura. And that's the White Sox first hit.
Inside fastball at 98. That's short. Really short swing there. Good contact.
Jordan Danks, we saw him make a very good play on defense in game 1 on Monday, going up against the fence in left field against Omar Infante to support his brother John, who was pitching for the White Sox that night. Tyler Flowers started that game on Monday and was 1 for 4. Josh Fegley was behind the plate last night for Chicago. Escobar to the middle, scoops with the glove, and no outs recorded. And Escobar is upset with himself. Did he have a little more time to get one out?
Yes. He tried to make it quick, and lots of middle infielders with great hands can make this play. They can shovel it over there, but not all the time, obviously. Got a chance to just catch it, get it out with his hand, and flip it backhand. He could have gotten an out, but didn't work. Couldn't keep his foot on the base. Got to make sure of an out.
And now Marcus Semien, a .226 hitter. Ooh. Heck, it the bat or the helmet?
Umpire saying foul ball.
Or at least dead ball.
Oh. Ooh. That's dangerous.
Which is better than dead somebody else.
You can't ask a guy to bunt on Ventura. That's just dangerous. Look at that. Oh,
right part of the helmet, though. If
Yeah.
you're going to get hit on the helmet, that's the place to get hit.
Yeah. This is terrifying for a hitter. Terrifying.
Yeah, Sal was ready to catch a collapsing Marcus Semien.
Woo, man.
There's a portion of the helmet, the batting helmet, and it's that top edge where Semien was hit that is not flush up against the head. So as bad as that looked, it's much better than getting hit on the side of the helmet. And it was a deflection more than flush contact.
Glad he's okay. But now Ventura's in trouble. Got him loaded up, nobody out. And this guy at the plate. Eaton. Giordano has induced 12 ground ball double plays this season. I think he'd gladly exchange a run for a double play. Eaton's fast. Be tough to double him up. Eaton with him loaded up this year is 3 for 9.
Sliced near the line, and Alex, the Royals are playing in that direction, and now safe at the plate. What a throw. First of all, the Royals were lined up perfectly as Eaton hit it up the line. So Alex was able to make the play and almost flat-footed made this throw.
Oh man, I'm not sure Salvi would have been able to put the tag on him in time anyway. But this is just incredible to show you the arm strength and the accuracy. Ooh,
looked like he would have missed him.
Yep.
Strike on Ramirez.
Salvador up in the line. Would have been close.
Ramirez lined to center in the first inning, and then that at bat he went after the very first pitch. One ball, 2 strikes.
Salvador Perez, you know, the way the catcher's rule is this year, see, he's standing there right now, but he's acting like there's not a throw coming in. And then at the last minute, he's trying to trick the runner into thinking there's not going to be a play, and it hit in the dead spot in his glove. That angle right there showed it hit in the heel of that catcher's glove, and every player out there has a difficult time whenever that ball does hit in the heel of holding on to it.
You were talking about double plays. Ramirez has grounded into 21, which would be huge here with Abreu on deck. Instead, he gets a strikeout. That's his first. Got him with a breaking ball. 2 down.
Totally fooled when the hitter's looking for the fastball and he puts that big wrinkle on it.
Abreu walked in the first inning. White Sox have scored a run, but they had the bases loaded with nobody out, and now first and third, 2 down. And with Sale on the mound. This is a huge matchup for Ventura. Changeup, 1-1.
Boy, great arm speed. Same arm speed as his fastball. That's what makes the changeup so special. It's less velocity by holding the ball in the back 3 fingers. Can't afford to give the White Sox any more runs, really, the way Sale is.
Off the inside of his foot. to make it 1-2. Second time that Ventura has faced the White Sox this year, but Abreu did not play the first time around. He was on the disabled list. So that walk in the first inning was the first time he has seen Ventura. Another changeup, and Ventura goes jumping off the mound to celebrate a big out. So it could have been a lot worse, as the White Sox had the bases loaded with nobody out, and they get one.
Got a power arm like that, you can do it.
With the help of Michelle Davis, founded the Kansas City Pet Project in August 2011. Officially the Kansas City, Missouri Animal Shelter, the KC Pet Project has been recognized nationally for its excellent work by both Best Friends Animal Society and the Petco Foundation. And Brent is sitting in the Buck O'Neil Legacy seat at tonight's game, which happens to be Bark at the Park #2. Jason Nix playing at third base leads off, and Chris Sale throws a strike. Nix playing at third for Mike Moustakas was Sale on the mound. Billy Butler's at first base for Eric Hosmer.
He is 1 for 4 off of him. Great to see the fans here on Bark at the Park night with their dogs.
One and two on Nix. First round pick of the Colorado Rockies back in 2001. Jason Nix. And some of you might remember his older brother Lance Nix, who was an outfielder mostly with the Texas Rangers. And Jason tonight is playing against one of his former teams. Didn't play very long with the Rockies, just parts in 2008, but he was with the White Sox in 2009, 2010. Also spent some time with the Indians, the Blue Jays, and the last 2 seasons he was with the Yankees. Slider over the outside, no argument from Nix as he strikes out, and that's 3 for Sale. Time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag KCFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown during tonight's game broadcast. Brought to you by AT. Little guy looks like he may have gotten a visit from the Tooth Fairy.
That's a good smile.
Future hockey player. Deep short and through. A base hit for Alcides Escobar with one out.
Escobar found him a fastball that was up. That's what you got to look for against Sale. Hit it right off the end in a perfect spot. Sale, he'll use a slide step, holding runners on at first base. That means he's going to just slide that front foot, and it makes it quicker getting the ball home. Try to help out Tyler Flowers.
Outside to Nori Aoki. In this series with the White Sox, Nori has come to the plate 11 times. He has made one out, 9 for 10 with a walk, and he's one hit away from tying the Royals record for most hits in a 3-game series, and it hasn't been done since 1982.
Wow. Hope he can do it. Tyler Flowers, he's got a really good percentage of throwing runners out, 24.7. So he'll be able to help Sale in case Escobar does steal. Escobar at 31 steals, looking for 32.
1-1 on Aoki. And it's not just this series for Nori against the White Sox. This year, he is 24 for 46.
Nori's trying to get Jershly to give those signs again. He's over there calling for Jersh. He was saying his name, holding up his finger. Jersh, look at Jersh. He's a little disgusted.
There it is. He ties the record, so he's got a great chance to break it. It's been a lot of hits like that, but a hit is a hit. 2 for 2 tonight. 10 for 11 in the series.
Well, I think Jersh gave him the sign for the chop knock. There it was. He's a technician batter. He hits it where they ain't. Jersh gave him the sign to get another base hit. More hits to left field, but center and right, you just never know. Stay hot.
Strike 2, Lorenzo Cain at 96 miles an hour, and Sale got him on a pop out to second base in the first inning.
Lorenzo Cain has hit a home run off of Sale in his career. Lousy single would work, though.
Just foul to make it 0-2. Royals have 3 hitters in the lineup that are some of the best ever against Chris Sale, and Lorenzo Cain is one of those. Here are the top 4 with at least 20 at bats. Escobar 381, Billy Butler 359, and then a couple of guys down the road from there, Cain 324. Belted to left field. Lorenzo Cain has hit a 3-run home run.
the Royals are looking for. Forget about the lousy single. How about a 3-run bomb off the best left-handed pitcher in the American League? And I believe on contact, he got that slider that tried to come in from the back door. He knew he got it. Sailed. Touched up early here in the 3rd inning. Timely.
Two and one on Willingham. Sale had pitched 59 consecutive innings against the Royals without allowing a home run. That came on an 0-2 pitch. Willingham going for it all. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He walked his first time up.
Now that 0-2 pitch was up in the zone. Usually 0-2, Sale will throw that slider down in the dirt to get the guy to swing over the top of it or waste a pitch. But that was an elevated pitch. The Lorenzo Cain picked it up just in time. Short, compact stroke, caught the ball underneath the baseball, just enough to get it over that 387 mark in left center.
Willingham walks again. Those are the only 2 walks allowed by Sale. And you can see the frustration as he snapped at that throw back from the catcher Flowers.
Ball's down. Sale's showing some displeasure, and you know what? That's not a bad thing to see him upset like that. Although he's not a kind of guy who's going to let his emotions get the best of him, but Lorenzo Cain really put a dent in him, in his ego.
Tyler Flowers is going to take as much time as he is allowed to make sure that Sale calms down and catches his breath. So this has been a big inning for the Royals, not just because of the Cain home run, but remember in the top half of this inning, White Sox had the bases loaded and nobody out, and they got 1. And now the Royals come back with 3. And a strike to Alex. Alex grounded into a force out in the 1st inning. Oh, and 2.
Those are really tough pitches to hit. Staying on the outer half and borderline away. And he left that slider up. Gave Alex a chance to get the bat on it. He'll take another one of those.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Okay. Look.
So far, looks like the game has gone to the dogs for Sale. So far. Talked about in our open of our show tonight, Rhino, how that 1 swing, 1 home run could make the difference against Sale. And Lorenzo took care of that early. Ooh, man. 3 tough pitches to Alex. Nothing he could do. It's identical to those other strikes, right on the outside part of the plate. That sidearm slider from there, really deceptive to a left-handed batter.
Fouled back by Salvador Perez. That was the 25th pitch of the inning for Sale. Sal fouled out to first in the second inning. Three White Sox chasing, tough play, and it drops. Willingham to third. They're going to wave him home. Eaton's throw is off mark, and Flowers reaching for the tag couldn't get him.
Great call by Jershely, the third base coach. That ball hung in the air an awfully long time. I can't believe that ball wasn't caught. You would expect this to be caught. Now, Willingham, he's taking off. He's running. It's 2 outs, so he's going on contact. Now, he's coming to third. He can't see the play. Jershely, he sees the ball kicked by Eaton. He kept sending him. But it was Willingham who was giving an effort around the bases that got it done, and man, was that close. Eaton kicked it, and then Simeon kicked it. They'll take that run any day of the year against Sale. Just avoided the tag. Interesting, Willingham had to get away from the throw there. He saw the throw and he got away from it. Church heads up, way to get him a run.
Fouled away by Billy.
Well, that ought to make Salvador Perez feel a lot better. That ball left Salvy's bat and he's saying, man, he got me again. And you just never know how the ball's going to bounce. Four runs in one inning against Sale.
Haven't heard of scoring yet, whether it's just a single and an RBI or maybe a single and an air 8 on Eaton. First he kicked it toward right field, and that's the only reason why Mike Jershely sent him to the plate. So at least for now, it's a single and an RBI. Billy chops it out to short. Ramirez with the flip, and that's the inning. 4 runs against Sale in the third inning. The biggest hit, Lorenzo Cain, and this is the first time anybody has ever hit a home run against Chris Sale on an 0-2 pitch. Lineup shakeup was the man that was placed in the number 3 spot in the order, and his 3-run home run leads to a 4-run inning and gives Yordano Ventura a 3-run lead as The White Sox come up in the 4th inning, and we look at our Toyota League leaders. All-time rookie ranks among Royals pitchers. So if you wonder where some of those numbers rank all time, tied for 5th in wins, 4th best ERA, 6th most strikeouts, and tied for the most quality starts, and he's had 9 in a row coming into tonight. 2 balls and no strikes against Gillespie, and Salvador Perez is going to make sure that Ventura gets back into the strike zone sooner rather than later after the 4-run 3rd.
You've heard us say it more than once. After your team has a big inning, the job for you is to go out and shut them down and keep the momentum in the Royal side. Salvi, he says, whoa, 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 come on, let's go. 3-run lead. Counting on you, young man.
Alex fades back in left field to take care of Gillespie. Well, I want to thank the Royals and Fox Sports Kansas City for allowing us to promote our Gloves for Kids event, which is tomorrow. We'll be at Rally House Kansas Sampler in Oak Park from 5 until 7. A donation of $25. You can take part in one of what is going to be 3 autograph sessions tomorrow. We'll have 2 groups from 5 to 6, one from 6 to 7, and all the proceeds going toward the purchase of new baseball equipment for underprivileged youth programs in the Kansas City area. So we look forward to seeing you there tomorrow.
Come on out and help out. Prepare these kids for baseball.
1-1 on Garcia. Let's go to Joel.
Well, I know that Ned Yost will also be there, and you always wonder about, baseball managers, football coaches kind of getting into that bunker mentality. They don't always know what's going on in the rest of the world. Well, Ned Yost, off day tomorrow, knew that he was going to be going to Gloves for Kids, and he thought that his wife would be flying into town on Friday, and so he thought he'd have a nice quiet day to himself tomorrow. And he was telling that to his wife, and she reminded him that she was coming in tomorrow to Kansas City, and oh, by the way, it's their anniversary today. Now, Ned says this is not the first time he has forgot their anniversary, and that his wife Deborah is kind of used to it because he's done it many times. He said, I don't know why I got married in September. Nice strikeout there of Garcia. I don't know why I got married in September with the baseball schedule. So this has happened many times before. So his plan for tomorrow, go to Gloves for Kids to see Ryan and help out the kids, then take his wife to a nice dinner, and then go to the Bass Pro Shop. The Bass Pro Shop? Yeah, she's used to tagging along. I'll buy her a fishing pole, though. She likes to fish. Happy anniversary to Ned and Deborah Yost.
Wow. 37 years. And so you say, why would a baseball man get married in the middle of September? Well, 37 years ago, Ned was a minor leaguer. So his season was over, and it was in between the end of the minor league season and the beginning of instructional league. So they figured, well, we'll get married. We've got some time. Well, little did he or Deborah know that Ned would have a relatively long major league career as a player, a long major league career as a coach, and now coming up on a long major league career as a manager. And the major league season spans through September, so it always comes up, as Ned put it, not only in the middle of September, but oftentimes in the middle of trying to get to the playoffs.
It's nice of him to share some of his personal life with the media today.
Giordano Ventura with 4 strikeouts, all in the last 2 innings. And the Royals lead 4-1 to the bottom of the 4th. by the great Chrysler American Drive event going on now, or by Thoroughbred Ford. Omar Infante, Jason Nix, and Alcides Escobar coming up in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Next year I'm bringing my dog. He's going to sit right up here in the booth with us, Rhino. I want to bring
That'll be a game that Fizz is doing, right?
I don't know. Simba's well behaved, unlike his owner.
Fonte lined to center in the 2nd inning. The 2nd bark at the park this year. Two and two on Infante. There have been different giveaways at Bark at the Park. Royals water dish, I think this time around, a Royals dog mat. Garcia makes a play in right field to get Infante one down in the 4th. Jeffrey Flanagan covers the Royals for FoxSportsKansasCity.com. Flanny is answering your Royals questions on Twitter throughout tonight's game. You can tweet him at JFlanaganKC using hashtag FlannyChat.
Great teammate. He's saying, hey guys, come on. Let me hear from you.
Where are those dogs? Is that in the left field corner? Right field corner?
They have a certain section for them.
I don't think the dogs are allowed to sit anywhere in the ballpark. No balls, 2 strikes. So there they are out there on front of the Royals Hall of Fame, around the Royals Hall of Fame. So that would be the left field corner.
Lay down. Stay.
And when they announce the attendance tonight, they will announce how many people were here and how many dogs. And for some people, they shouldn't take that personally. Guy's got it made. Are you kidding me? Sure, I'll go to the game with you so long as I can sit in your lap and you rub my belly all game.
Ooh.
Nick strikes out for a 2nd time against Sale, both times with that same pitch. 2 down in the 4th inning.
Nick's had some good rips on him. There, 2nd time in a row, man. Same pitch. I can see a little Randy Johnson in this guy here, Chris Sale. Not quite as tall. Obviously, Randy was 6'11", but very similar build. Very tall and lean and lanky, and he let go of that ball, and it's right on you. Wicked. He had 2 kind of sliders that he used. It was a get me over slider that stayed up in the zone, and then one that was down at your back leg you couldn't hit. Sale, very similar. Look at that pooch. Saddle him up.
Escobar and Aoki scored on the Lorenzo Cain 3-run home run. 2 and 2. It's been 5 years, but Chris Sale, just like Brandon Finnegan of the Royals, got to the big leagues the same year he was drafted. White Sox took him in the first round in 2010 out of Florida Gulf Coast University. He made 11 minor league appearances and got to the big leagues that same year. And like Finnegan, the White Sox first used him as a reliever. That ball's launched to left field. Gone. 2 home runs for the Royals against Chris Sale.
Shocked the house at the K. The Royals are bombing Chris Sale. Going over the wall. Escobar, long time in between homers for him. May 11th, 409 at-bats before he connects on another fastball out over the middle at 93. Good easy swing. Didn't try to do it, and that's when they happen. That ball went a little further than Lorenzo Cain's.
And that 509 at-bats without a home run, that was the 5th longest current streak in the major leagues without a home run. Before tonight, the Royals had scored just 1 run in 15 innings this year against Chris Sale. And Nori Aoki sets the record. 11 hits for Aoki in one 3-game series. He is the only Royal to do that in the team's 46-year history.
Aoki dokie. Lava hot. That's the hottest you can get, folks. This guy is full of confidence. He guides it out there again. Now he abbreviated his swing. We've seen him do that. He didn't follow through. He just stuck it. He just put his bat out there and met it perfectly. When you're hot, that's what happens.
And now Cain, he got all this started last inning with a 3-run home run on an 0-2 pitch. First time that Chris Sale, as a major leaguer, has ever allowed a home run on an 0-2 pitch. The Royals have really done a good job against Sale tonight with 2 strikes. Not just Cain with the 3-run home run on an 0-2 pitch. That was the biggest hit. Salvador Perez drove in a run down in the count. Escobar had 2 strikes on him when he homered, and Aoki just singled on an 0-2 pitch.
This is the perfect way your offense wants to go about taking care of an ace, which is very possible. This scenario could come up in a wild card game. One win, winner takes all, one game. These guys are having an incredible focus against this lefty. Yes, he's left a couple pitches up in the zone, but you got to hit him. How many times have we seen ground balls right at somebody or line drives at somebody? Tonight, so far it's been different.
That's pulled foul. This team has been both resilient and unpredictable. And just think of the last 4 games. Royals had an early 4-0 lead in the game on Sunday. They ended up losing. Then they came back and won a wild game on Monday, and we wondered if that energy would carry over into tonight, or last night rather, for a victory. It did not, as the Royals saw Wade Davis and Kelvin Herrera give up runs for the first time since June. So was that going to be a deflating loss, especially with Chris Sale on the mound? Apparently not. Cain has another hit. Aoki will stop at second base. So Sale has already given up a season high 5 hits, and he's done it in less than 4 innings. 5 runs in fewer than 4 innings, and now 8 hits in fewer than 4 innings.
Obviously, being elevated in the strike zone is the reason that the Royals are having some success. But just like I just mentioned, though, you got to be able to take it to him and be aggressive, and they have been, but they're finding holes. And Donnie Cooper's going to try to tell him to make some adjustments back down in the zone again. Everything's up.
Money right there.
Going to come right into your living room.
He loves the camera.
Willingham has walked twice against Sale and scored once. Looking for a first pitch fastball, and it was a changeup. 0-1. Oh, and 2. Chris Sale, after 2 innings tonight, had gone 59 consecutive innings against the Royals without allowing a home run, and the Royals have 2 home runs in the last 2 innings. Willingham down on 3 pitches, and that ends the inning. So it was Kane last inning with a 3-run home run. Alcides Escobar with a solo home run to make it 5-1 at the end of 4.
At Target Field thanks to this. Miguel Cabrera, RBIs number 102 and 103. Drives in a pair to put Detroit on top 4-3. A lot of baseball left in that one. David Price has allowed 3. You just never know. It's a broken record what you're going to see at the ballpark. What have we now seen this week, guys? A game with 2 pinch runs, stolen bases, and a crazy win. 4 hours and 16 minutes last night. Herrera and Davis scoreless streaks ending on 1 pitch. And now Chris Sale actually looking human against the Royals.
It's been fun the last 2 nights watching what's going on here and the scoreboard at the same time. And Ned Yost admitted before the game that yes, they were aware of the Minnesota-Detroit game. And when the crowd started cheering last night, and it came in 2 different waves. The first wave came from fans who were looking at their mobile devices, so they knew that Detroit had lost. And then the second wave was when it was posted on the out-of-town scoreboard. Danks scored the White Sox run in the third inning. He singled. And eventually in that inning, the White Sox had the bases loaded and nobody out, and they got just the one run. And by getting just one run, that gave the Royals an emotional lift. And they scored 4 in the next half inning. A delayed call, but the right call as Mark Carlson rings up Jordan Danks, and Ventura has his 5th strikeout.
Struck out 3 of the last 4. Good breaking ball.
.100 miles an hour outside to Tyler Flowers. He was on with an infield single in the third inning. Ventura has retired 7 in a row with 5 strikeouts. 2-0. Driven into right center field. Nori slides. He caught it.
Have a series.
This might be one of the greatest all-around series ever.
Great read on contact. Made a perfect jump to the right spot, catches it, and pulls it up for the umpire to see that was not a trap. Aoki's putting on a clinic on both sides of the ball. Giordano says thank you. Saved an extra base hit there.
Kampai.
Believe it.
Now I remember that word from my childhood days in Japan. That's like salute, right?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't you say kampai before you begin a meal?
That's right. Or you toast somebody.
Escobar gets Simeon. 9-pitch inning for Ventura, and with the help of Nori Aoki, Ventura has knocked down the last 9 White Sox hitters.
Go ahead. Tremendous.
brought to you by the great Chrysler American Drive event going on now. Only one more check to go. Good luck with the fourth one.
Ooh, that was right on his hands. Good thing it didn't hit him. Sale saving his best pitches for Alex Gordon tonight. Alex did get a ground ball to the second baseman his first time up, but man, that second time up he put some tough pitches on. He got him again.
Simeon throws him out, one down in the fifth. Join us for the final Buck night of the season as the Royals begin that 3-game series with the Tigers. One of the first 20,000 fans will receive the special edition Thunder Sticks courtesy of DraftKings. Then as an added bonus, grab your Dollar Dog and head over to the left field concourse where there will be a special pregame autograph session and 3 Royals Hall of Famers will be there. Coming up in left field is Danks to make the play. One down to get Salvador Perez. Let me take that back. I've got my nights confused. On Friday will be Futures Night. So we'll have a special pregame autograph session with current Royals minor league players and many of the minor league players of the year at each individual affiliate. So a lot going on that Friday as the Royals and Tigers begin that 3-game series. Royals.com, 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. Billy is grounded into a force out and struck out against Sale. Off the right field line, fair ball. Fans getting behind Billy, giving him a little extra push, and he's into second base with a 2-out double.
Billy Butler, he waited almost so long he hit it out of Flowers' glove. That was a pitch inside, and he stayed inside of that baseball with his hands. Great eye position. Almost like he looked like he was trying to go to right field from the very beginning. It's a base hit like that that can really lock Billy in. By seeing the ball long, keeping inside of it, stroking it down the right field line. You can see when Billy plays first base what his numbers are. 290, 5 homers, 19 ribbies. Against Sale, nice numbers.
He is our most trusted player, brought to you by the most trusted brand, Honda. And now he's out. Eric Hosmer will run for him. Talking to Billy yesterday, and remember those ovations that he got on Monday every time he came to the plate? Louder ovations than for any of the other Royals. He said he noticed, and it's a tough spot to be in. He wants to play. Not that he disagrees with any moves. In fact, he made it very clear he does not disagree with what Ned Yost has done with the lineup recently. But he's a ball player. Ball players want to play, but the most important thing to Billy and what he's been working for all these years since first coming up was a chance at the playoffs. Danks and Eaton, and Adam Eaton makes a play to end the inning. Billy Butler doubles. Hosmer runs for him. Royals strand a runner at second base. 5-1 KC. And he hasn't just done it with the bat in this series. He has made 3 very good plays just tonight in right field. Oh, and by the way, at the plate, he is 11 for 12, setting a Royals record for the most hits in a 3-game series. Appropriately enough, on Roberto Clemente night, one of the greatest right fielders in Major League history. Wow. 12 Gold Gloves to go along with 12 appearances in All-Star games. He was selected 15 times. Exactly 3,000 career hits, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1973. Eric Hosmer stays in at first base after running for Butler in the bottom of the 5th inning. Every now and then the Hall of Fame will make a special exemption for a player. When a player retires, they have to wait 5 years until they can be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Roberto Clemente died on New Year's Eve of '72, and the Royals, or rather the Hall of Fame, made a special exemption, and 7 months later he was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Ventura a little bit disgusted with that last pitch, I guess. He wants to keep his composure. He's cruising here into the 6th inning. Keep your focus, execute your 3 beautiful pitches.
Three and 2 on Adam Eaton, who is trying to keep pace with Aoki in this series. 0 for 1 tonight with a sacrifice fly, making him 7 for 11. Line to center. Kane is there to make the play. Ventura has retired 10 straight. Jeremy sending in our AT&T fan photo from right field here at Kauffman Stadium. Thank you, Jeremy. And by using hashtag KC fan photo, you can have yours shown during an upcoming game broadcast, brought to you by AT&T.
Pace of this game's moving a little bit better than last night's.
Base hit into center field, so that snaps the string of 10 straight retired by Ventura. Ramirez is 1 for 3. And now all of a sudden here comes Ned Yost, Nick Kenny, and Dave Island. Ventura, remember, has missed 2 starts this year. He had some soreness in his right elbow, which was the equivalent of a small bone bruise. Nothing structurally wrong with the elbow, and he missed a start because of tightness in his back. This is when Eaton lined to center field.
Looked like he was grimacing. And you know, before that I saw him swipe at the ball on the ground, and he was angry, and he knocked the ball away over to the third baseman Nix. And maybe he was angry at something. Now it looked like they were looking at his hand. See, he's shaking his hand during the Eaton at bat. So Salvi sees that right there. He's saying, "Are you okay?" Yep.
Salvador Perez is motioning back to the Royals dugout. As soon as that pitch was thrown, he, with his right hand, motioned to the dugout. Still throwing 97 miles an hour. Kelvin Herrera begins to throw in the Royals bullpen.
During that Eaton at bat, it looked like Salvi noticed something.
Omar Infante would have been a really good basketball player, because that was a no-look feed to second base for a 4-6-3 inning double play.
Routine. Hopefully Ventura's okay.
Inning with the Royals ahead 5-1. It's our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Charlene Pesh from Lexington, Missouri. And if the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Charlene wins $6,700. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Charlene wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals.
Okay, Ventura, he's given knuckle bumps with his right hand.
Normally, and not all the time, but normally when a pitcher starts making fists, I shouldn't say that, when anybody starts making fists, you assume there's some kind of numbness, just trying to pump some blood into an area of the arm, area of the hand, maybe the wrist.
I think he's done. I don't think they're going to let him come back out.
Ibanez batting for Jason Nix and facing Michael Clayto. Chevy called to the bullpen. Royals got 5 runs against Chris Sale. That was a season high for Sale.
Amazing job the Royals offense did off of the brilliant lefty. Clayto, 6'3", 250. He's got a power fastball to go with it, 93 to 100. Two-seamer, slider to change. Last time Raul Ibanez pinch hit a couple nights ago, he was solid. Ended up getting a walk, but he had like 5 or 6 swings in the at bat.
Three and one on Raul.
This will be a test. That type of velocity that Plato has against a 42-year-old left-handed power hitter at one particular time, and he's still. Let's see if he can get some contact on that power fastball, because that's what's coming. Got to cheat a little bit to get to it.
He does, and he pulls it foul, getting around on 97.
So what I mean by cheating is you just got to start a little bit sooner than you normally would.
Ibanez strikes out against Plato. One down. Remember, Saturday is Fan Appreciation Day. That's game 2 with the Tigers, and the game time has been moved from 6:10 to 12:05 and will air on the Fox network. The first 10,000 fans get a Royals scarf courtesy of Academy Sports and Outdoors. There'll be games for the fans, giveaways, and great prizes. Fan Appreciation Day on Saturday.
That was dirty by Plato to do that to Raul Ibanez. 3-2, throwing him a slider. Raul was sitting all over a fastball, and he just put one little wrinkle on it, and that totally messed up Ibanez. Good try though, Raul. That was a good at bat.
And that nicked Escobar. It was a slider, so no intent. We think.
Yep, you see he's got a little pad there for his elbow, but it just grazed off the KC logo in his left tricep.
And look at the fans, some of them giving Nori a standing ovation. 3 for 3 tonight, 11 for 12 in the series, and 11 hits is a Royals record for a 3-game series. Escobar runs. He got a very good jump, and Flowers throws it right on the bag, and Laz Diaz says that Escobar is out, but hang on. Escobar's not going anywhere, and he pointed to the Royals dugout.
But the proper etiquette when this happens is to respect the umpire's call. You leave the field. Flowers does a nice job of putting it right there, and man, that was really close. The foot and the ball got there at the same time. Diaz, he did all he could. Ooh, man, I'm gonna say his foot got in there. Do you think? What do you think?
I think he got him.
Okay, let's see.
Contact right.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's foot.
The angle before that. Royals decided not to challenge it. That doesn't mean he wasn't safe, but of course you have to have clear and convincing evidence, and maybe the Royals didn't get that.
Great throw by Flowers.
One and two on Nori. I think the White Sox will spend a little extra time on Nori before the Royals go to Chicago to end the regular season, because it's not just in this series. Nori is 26, for 48 against Chicago this year. 2-2.
You throw a changeup to Nori Aoki and you're a right-hander, and usually changeups go away from you. That plays right into his hand.
Before tonight, the two best series, 3-game series in Royals history as far as hits go, belong to Willie Wilson. Is that Willie?
Looks like Hal to me.
Willie Wilson in 1980, George Brett in 1982.
Anyway, what a feat.
Nori is on base again. So he is 11 for 12 at the plate and 13 out of 14 in plate appearances.
Some kind of locked in. I'd say the hunt for Blue October is on too, young man.
Nori has a .929 on base percentage in this series. Not on base plus slugging. .929 on base percentage. Biggest hit tonight, Lorenzo Cain. White Sox had a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Royals had 2 on with 1 out. Cain was down 0-2 and he hit a 3-run home run. Royals added another run in that inning. Got a home run from Escobar in the 4th. And here we are, 5-1 KC with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. At a play, and it's 0-2. And speaking of 0-2, that was the count on Cain back in the 3rd inning. Our Jeep drive of the game.
Man, I'm going to tell you, that was really a compact swing. He's able to recognize that pitch and ignited the entire ball club. Sale slaps himself upside the head, but look, it was all about Lorenzo Cain. 0-2, sure, it might have been elevated, but Lorenzo was short with that compact stroke. Forget that 2-strike approach. I'm going yard. What a lift. And, you know, he's batting in that 3rd hole, and a lot of people would think that Lorenzo Cain is not exactly a prototypical type run producer in that 3 hole. Usually your run producers, your best hitters are 3, 4, 5 and 6. Those guys drive in runs, but he answered the call tonight. He had Yost staying with him and Cain rewarding him with a big 3-run homer.
He has clearly been one of the Royals' emotional leaders over the last 2 weeks. And we talked about this the other night, that every player wants to win, or they should want to win, but some take it a step further. They want to beat the other team. They want somebody to lose in addition to them winning. And Kane, lately, you can just see a fire in his eyes as he's been making big plays on defense, big hits at the plate, including a 3-run home run tonight, as the Royals lead 5-1 over the White Sox.
One here at Kauffman Stadium. Tickets for Less has been your trusted source for your Royals tickets all season long, and now Tickets for Less has come through again. Ticketsforless.com has great lower level tickets available for this weekend's huge series versus the Tigers. If you want to sit in the lower level this weekend, then you need to check out Ticketsforless.com and help send your Royals to the playoffs. Detroit leading 4-3 right now as we take a look at our Panera around the league. Cleveland on top of Houston, Seattle, LA, Texas, Oakland about to get started. And guys, as for that Tigers-Twins game, Detroit, they should feel pretty good with David Price on the hill, but 5 innings, 3 runs, and he's already thrown 104 pitches. Monty was predicting last night that we'll see Joakim Soria very soon, if not as early as tonight, as the closer. But maybe it'll be Joe Nathan. We'll keep our eye on it.
All right, Joel. And of course, we made some assumptions last night, and that's always dangerous when we saw that Joe Nathan blew the save in the bottom of the 9th inning in Minnesota last night and then lost the game. But in watching the replays, Ezekiel Carrera on the game tying double with an aggressive and maybe a reckless dive for a ball that could have potentially dropped in front of him for a base hit. And then Aaron Hicks won it with an infield single. So it was a blown save, still painful for the Tigers and the fans in Detroit. But the Twins certainly did knock him all over the block last night. Apparently Yordano Ventura is just fine as he stays in the game after the Royals were a bit concerned with him in the 6th inning. He strikes out his 6th, and he's retired 12 of the last 13.
Didn't affect that curveball one bit.
On the outside to Garcia. And Ventura is still throwing 99 miles an hour. Garcia has struck out, and he's lost a hit on one of Aoki's 3 good plays tonight. Oh, and 2.
For the game, we said that Ventura has to be nearly perfect, and he has been. Only allowing 3 hits to the White Sox. 1 run, that was on a sac fly. They had him loaded up, nobody out, and he escaped the jam. You have those 3 pitches in your arsenal that are all above average pitches. You have a chance to be not good, but great. Learning in every start, Ventura has been. He's been mentored by Dave Island, one of the best pitching coaches there is in baseball. And when you have veteran pitchers on that staff that are helping him as well, how can you go wrong? With those 3 pitches he's got, that changeup. Filthy. Dave Island says, wow, yep, that's right. Perfect placement. That's exactly where you want to put that changeup. Down and away from the righty. That's the pitch that impressed the great Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan. Nolan watched Ventura pitch his 2nd outing of the year this year in Houston, and he said, this kid looks like the real deal because he's got a changeup that he can use. He's only 23 years old.
Now he has the stuff to get anybody out. He has taken his little mound celebrations after strikeouts to another level. That might be a little something you might want to keep an eye on. I mean, he's good enough as it is. There's no reason to get the opponent revved up. It used to be just what he did right there, maybe a little leg kick after a strikeout. But as he's more comfortable in the major leagues, maybe we're seeing more of his personality on the mound. Ooh. Full count on Viciedo, who is 0 for 2.
Amazes me to see the energy in Salvador Perez catching all them games he's caught this year. Now granted, the weather has really cooperated this summer. Hasn't been a real bad summer as far as the heat goes, which drains the players. But he's 24 years old and still bounces around like it's the first month of the season. Lost him.
His 2nd walk and his 1st since the 1st inning.
Just missed up in the strike zone. You can see was hoping he'd call him out.
Jordan Danks has scored the only run against Ventura tonight. He was on with a single in the 3rd inning. And in that 3rd inning, there was no score. And the White Sox had the bases loaded, nobody out, with the top of the order coming up. Eaton, Ramirez, and Abreu. And the White Sox got only 1 run on a sacrifice fly. And after the sacrifice fly, the White Sox had runners at 1st and 3rd with 1 out. And Ventura struck out Ramirez and Abreu. That was the last time Chicago had more than 1 runner in an inning.
He really humped up on that one.
And that one, 2-2.
Yep, overthrowing the last 2 pitches, obviously. Shoulder coming out a little bit, get a little bit carried away. Salvi's trying to keep him, and so does Dave Island, to just stay the same. Don't try too hard. Repeat your mechanics, your delivery. Stay within yourself. Dave Island preaches all the time. Don't try to create anything more because you don't need anything more.
Hosmer down to a knee to block it and gets Danks. 7 innings, 1 run allowed by Yordano Ventura as he has outpitched Chris Sale tonight. Stretch time at Kauffman Stadium. Sam Abramson, Nick Danzo collecting those moments from tonight, summing up a Royals 5-1 lead. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Jeff Graham as well. So thank you, Jeff, Nick, and Sammy. Josh Willingham against Michael Clado. He came on last inning. Willingham has walked twice, scored a run, and struck out. Oh, and 2.
Plato, he can be extremely effective with that velocity he's got on his power fastball, and then that slider. Oh, that's a good one. 2 pitches really is all he needs, but he does have a changeup that he'll work in occasionally.
One and 2. Willingham didn't just score any run back in the 3rd inning. He scored from first base on a single. That sounds like something Gerard Dyson should be doing, but Willingham did that on a base hit from Salvador Perez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And with 2 outs, he was running on a pitch on a bloop that landed into right center field. It was kicked around out there by Adam Eaton, who was not charged with an error. And Mike Jerschley just sent Willingham to the plate, and he scored from first. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
It's a nice change up there you just saw. But tremendous plate discipline from Willingham.
Clado strikes him out. That's 3 strikeouts for Clado in an inning and a third. All right, let's answer our sprint question of the night. Which outfielder who never played in the NFL possessed the best throwing arm in the last 50 years? Vladimir Guerrero, 49%, then Roberto Clemente.
Can't argue with any of them. But Big Daddy Vladdy, he sure did. He threw it like he swung the bat. Wow. On the fly. He didn't never wanted to hit a cutoff man ever.
One and one to Alex. 0 for 3 so far tonight. He drove in 3 runs in the first 2 games. Fans reacting as Minnesota has tied Detroit in the bottom of the 6th inning, 4-4. One and two.
It's going to be a great showdown this weekend, regardless of what happens. But if somehow, some way, Royals can gain a game between now and Friday, sure makes a good off day tomorrow for the team.
Danny Santana with a double to drive in the tying run. 2 and 2 on Alex.
And Rhino, your Gloves for Kids charity that's tomorrow afternoon, and that gives the fans a chance to meet some of these players and come out and shake hands with them in what could be one of the best Royal seasons ever. Well, close.
Three and two on Alex.
Especially in this generation of Royals fans.
Alex comes back after falling behind in the count. Plato has walked 2. Still a lot going on this year, but if you want to start thinking ahead to 2015, grab your seat for the last home game on Sunday, and all fans will receive a 2015 early bird schedule and a Royals team photo courtesy of Pitcraft Printing. That's Sunday at 1:10 with the Royals and the Tigers, and the Royals hit the road. They'll be in Cleveland for 3 days, Chicago for 4 days. So 7 games, 7 full games on the schedule, and they still have to finish that suspended game against the Indians. And they'll do that before the game on Monday, before the regularly scheduled game on Monday. Salvador Perez was 0 for 12 at one point after making his first out tonight, and now he has 2 hits. 2 on, 1 out in the 7th inning.
That ought to make him feel good. Nice contact right back up the middle. That's what Salvi wants to think. Every time up, he didn't try to pull that ball, he just tried to go with it. You shoot that ball back up the middle as a hitter, that's a really good feeling. That means you were right on it. You squared it up perfectly.
Pitching change for the White Sox with Eric Hosmer coming up.
Santana hit to tie the game. How about Brian Dozier with a triple to give the Twins the lead? Just off the top of the wall. This is our monster game break. He is headed to third. Knocks in Danny Santana. And the Twins right now have put up a 2-spot in the 6th. They lead 5-4. You see Salvador Perez talking at first. A nice 2-hit night for him. Guys, had a chance to ask Ned Yost about him today because Salvador Perez has really struggled at the plate the last couple of months. And for a guy that doesn't take a lot of walks, he doesn't chase the way he's been chasing. Not to this extent lately. And Ned Yost just saying that he's been pressing. He needs a break and that you need to be more selective and just look for the pitch that you want on that first pitch. Not just take it, but look for the pitch that you want. One big hit here or there, he felt like he could break out. Maybe that is happening soon with a 2-hit night.
Thanks, Joel. It's Scott Snodgrass facing the Royals for the first time. And coming on with Eric Hosmer to the plate for the first time tonight.
ERA is a little bit large, but he's only pitched an inning and 2/3. 88 to 91, sinking fastball, slider. 6'5", 220.
The game here and the game in Minnesota have a lot to do with setting up the 3-game weekend series. Hosmer takes a breaking ball for a strike. The Royals hang on, and if Minnesota hangs on, all the Royals would need to do over the weekend is just win the series with Detroit, and they would be in first place going into the final week of the season. If the Royals win and the Tigers win, the Royals would have to sweep the series to go into the final week in first place. Alex took off from second base thinking he had Snodgrass time. Snodgrass did not come to the plate. Alex kind of ended up in no man's land and had to slam on the brakes and head back to second base. Grounded to Abreu. Second base one. And the throw goes into the Royals dugout. And that gets a run to the plate. It is 6-1 KC. Snodgrass looked like he was making that play on ice skates.
Yeah, and he almost twisted his ankle over there trying to cover the bag on his throw. Flat-footed Alexi Ramirez. It's hard to get any kind of accuracy when you just throw flat-footed like that. That's really ill-advised, as Snodgrass nearly hurt himself over there.
That run is charged to Clado.
#12th there by Alexi Ramirez.
Now intentionally walking Omar Infante, and Snodgrass almost threw it to the net.
This can be difficult for certain pitchers. Pitch out. The first two pitches, he looks uncomfortable. Just lobbing it up there. The third pitch. Wow. Not used to making throws like this.
Should Hosmer be taking a bigger lead here? I mean, there's 2 outs. I don't know if you want to risk it with 5 runs.
Yeah. The crowd is hoping he throws it away.
The fans behind home plate are doing their best Allen Fieldhouse imitation with a opposing player at the free throw line.
It's nice that the crowd can have fun here at the K and really have a little, 5-run lead is huge. for this time of the year, and the way the Royals have been playing, they've all been nail biters. So they're really enjoying themselves here.
First at bat for Moustakas, Jason Nick started at third base with Chris Sale on the mound. Curveball for a strike. Moustakas was 1 for 3 last night, driving in a run. And with a couple of lefties in this series, Danks and Sale, Moustakas has only started in 1 game. 1-1.
It's going to be important for Moustakas if he wants to play all the time and not have to sit on lefties, that he's really got to utilize that opposite field swing and get more base hits to left field off of lefties and not try to pull them.
And pulled right to Simeon to end the inning. Royals get an unearned run. They have a 5-run lead to the 8th inning. Baseball is brought to you by Thoroughbred Ford. Check out the huge selection of F-150s at thoroughbredford.com. 6-1 Royals to the top of the 8th inning. Make sure to stop by the Royals Authentic Shop throughout the rest of this homestand. Check out the brand new Salvador Perez and Alex Gordon prints created by Victory Fine Art. Fans can now purchase a copy of the original artwork plus a letter of authenticity for only $39.95. The original pieces will also be on sale. So make the Royals Authentic Shop a must-stop the next time you come out to Kauffman Stadium and you're running out of time. Royals.com, 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. Well, this isn't a typical Wade Davis inning, with the Royals leading by 5 in the 8th. But the Royals have a day off tomorrow. These are important games. The Royals have a very good opportunity to draw to within a half game of Detroit with the weekend series coming up. And it doesn't hurt Wade to get back up on the saddle again after losing the scoreless streak last night.
It's exactly what managers like to do to guys that, you know, had got roughed up the night before, which was very unusual, and I wouldn't say he got roughed up, but to get him back out there.
Tyler Flowers has a leadoff double. Number 16 for Flowers, his second hit tonight.
It's just the 4th extra base hit that Wade Davis has given up all season.
Fastball right by Simeon, who was hit by a pitch. A scary moment in the 3rd inning. With 2 on and nobody out, Simeon was trying to bunt against Ventura and took a pitch off of his helmet, but never left his feet. It was more of a deflection off the helmet than a solid blow, and it hit the right part of the helmet where there is the most protection and where the helmet isn't flush up against his head. It was the upper part of the forehead. Davis is ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Back with a strikeout, and Ventura and Davis have combined to strike out 8 Sox hitters tonight.
Like it might have been a cutter on the outside part of the plate.
What a streak it was for both Kelvin Herrera and Wade Davis. 31 innings for Herrera, 33 for Davis. And it might take them a little bit of time to really sit back and appreciate it. It's probably still, the wound is still fresh because of what happened last night. A triple that gave the White Sox a lead late in the game, but first time since 1974, when they started keeping more advanced statistics, that one team had 2 pitchers at the same time with a scoreless streak of 30 innings or more.
Incredible. What value that adds to the Royals, these guys. Dayton Moore had a pretty good idea what he wanted to do when he made that trade a couple of years ago. Shields and Davis have meant the world to the Royals.
Adam Eaton has been hitless. He hasn't been totally quiet. He drove in the White Sox run with a sac fly in the 3rd inning. Two and two. Two down, and Flowers goes to 3rd as Eaton remains hitless tonight. Bet you were happy to see your good buddy Buck Showalter and the Orioles clinch last night.
Sure was. Tell you, for a guy, a manager who started the Arizona Diamondbacks from the scratch, built that team up, got let go. Bob Brenly steps in, they win a world championship. He goes over to the Yankees. Didn't exactly build their team up, but he did a nice.
The Yankees first.
Yeah, Yankees.
Then the Diamondbacks.
Okay, there it was. Well, either way, they both won World Series the year after Buck left. So maybe.
And then the Rangers went to the World Series twice a couple of years after he left.
Right. So, you know, Buck, this might be the year he's hopeful for, that he can actually get to the big dance. Done a nice job with him.
Well, we're all very happy for you.
Thank you. He's a former teammate of mine. And he, you know, he's built that Orioles up in just a few years. He's only been there this is his third year.
Base hit. How about that? Davis allows runs in back-to-back games after that long streak. But this run gets the White Sox to within 4. So let's let him get it all out of his system now.
Yep. Curveball. It stayed up and out over a little bit in. That sped Alexi's bat up. This has been Buck Showalter's 5th year with the Orioles. By the way.
Strike to Abreu. Jose Abreu is hitting .200 against the Royals this year. 3 RBIs. Might have pitching coaches from other teams next year calling Dave Island and saying, man, how did you pitch this guy? 0-2.
Well, they've been keeping the ball down on him, and of course, and you have the arsenal that Dave Island has in his pitching staff. He's got really, you know, they got a great pitching staff. 5 good starters, bullpen to win. It's easy to see why.
Ramirez runs. Should be a stolen base. Hosmer was playing him at the bag. And it's his 21st of the year. Up to this point, the Royals have mastered Jose Abreu. Chicago gets 1 run. The Royals have a 4-run lead to the bottom of the 8th. Royals baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Power and light downtown Kansas City. Quiet now because 26,425 are here. Good to see Wade Davis with a smile on his face as he gives up a run. We hope it's meaningless in the top of the 8th. Matt Lindstrom is on for the bottom of the 8th with the Royals top of the order coming up.
More hard fastballs coming from Lindstrom. Mid-90s slider change.
Escobar has homered tonight, his first in over 400 at-bats. He got a pitch up, and the wind has picked up a little bit. It's blowing in from the north. That wasn't home run contact by Escobar, but that's now the wrong place to hit the ball. So one down, and here's Nori Aoki. And Nori has a chance to add to an amazing series. Truly. He has 11 hits in this 3-game series. That's a Royals record. The major league record is 12. 12 hits in a 3-game series. And the last time it was done was in 1981. Jerry Remy, who is now a broadcaster, longtime broadcaster of the Boston Red Sox, did it in 1981. And that's grounded to Gillespie, and in time to get Aoki. So he came close. That's just the second time that Nori has been retired this entire series in 15 plate appearances.
That's unbelievable. Talk about hot. The fans here in Kansas City, they recognize a great series when they see one. Not just offensively, but defensively too. But he just missed another hit there by a couple of feet. Either way, he'd have had another base hit. Hit the ball hard.
Kane to the middle. Ramirez throws it over everybody and everything. It's a base hit and an error. So Kane would have reached anyway, according to the official score, and he goes to second on the wild throw.
Whenever you spin around like that and throw, and your release point, you have no idea. That cleared the dugout.
Another note on Nori Aoki: had he gotten a base hit in his last at bat, he would have become the first Royal ever to have 3 straight 4-hit games. Ball one inside, and the last homestand looks a lot like the first homestand, where Nori was thrilling the fans with his work at the plate and his work in right field, getting some standing ovations. Famously tipped his cap as he was coming off the field after making a nice running play in the right field corner. That might have been during the home opener.
Yeah, and we see Holland out there, but Aoki, he could be the Royals' second half MVP the way he's been playing. He's really added some spark. He's driven in some big runs and shown off his tremendous, unique batting style, getting infield hits.
Ramirez gets another chance on a much easier play, and that's the inning. Greg Holland will get some work as he comes on for the 9th inning. The Royals are 3 outs away from taking the series.
On Boulevard Royals Live after the game, we'll talk about 3 former Milwaukee Brewers that were acquired in 2 different trades that made a difference tonight. Alcides Escobar, Lorenzo Cain, and of course, Nori Aoki. We'll also talk about how the Royals got to Chris Sale. Monty thinks that Sale's more of a cat guy than a dog guy, but there might be a little bit more to that too. We'll get reaction, and then want to let everybody know on Hy-Vee Royals Live on Friday, Monty's taking the weekend off, and for a good reason. His daughter Ashley is getting married, so congratulations to Ashley and Wes. And in his place, filling in for one day, celebrity, I guess we could say, guest co-host Ken Rosenthal of Fox Sports, who will be doing the game on Saturday on Fox. He'll be filling in as the co-host on Hy-Vee Royals Live. Guys?
All right, Joel, as we see Gerard Dyson now in the game in center field and Greg Holland on the mound. Joel, I remember during one of our spring training broadcasts, Ken Rosenthal, who was making his way through all the spring training complexes, we had him on during one of our broadcasts, and I believe he predicted the Royals would win the division, correct?
I remember the same thing, and he is one of many to do that. And I've known Ken a long time, one of the best, if not the best, in the country as far as national writers, national broadcasters, but a guy that somehow, I don't know if there are enough hours in the day, he knows about every team, has incredible sources. But yeah, he was one of many, including the guy sitting next door to you in the booth, Hawk Harrelson, who had picked the Royals to win the division.
Greg Holland needs 3 pitches to get Connor Gillespie. 1 down in the 9th inning.
Good to see Holland back out there hitting his spots. That slider's nearly unhittable. You got hitters looking at that fastball, it really disappears. When Lord, who wrote that song Royals or Be Royal, when that Grammy, when she won, I jumped up off the couch and said, the Royals are going to win. So that's how easy my prediction came, just when that happened. Didn't take a rocket science to figure that out. I said, man, it's all lining up.
Escobar gets Garcia 2 down. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals. They may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery, with director Steve Kurtenbach, producer Christian Roberts. Associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman. And the producer of Royals Live is Brian Shapiro. Strike to Viciedo. Holland is pitching for just the second time on this homestand. Both have been non-save situations, but both have been KCWs. The Royals have won the series against the Chicago White Sox. Final score is 6-2, and we'll wait and see what happens in Minneapolis. The Royals could begin that 3-game series with the Tigers on Friday night, just 1/2 game back. Minnesota leads 6-4 in the top of the 8th.
Nori Aoki, Lorenzo Cain, key bus drivers tonight. Let's not forget about Ventura. Solid job by the rookie. Another quality start. And another KCW.
Giordano Ventura out pitching Chris Sale. Sale gives up a season high 5 runs in 5 innings. And Giordano Ventura, 10 consecutive quality starts, 7 strikeouts, 1 run in 7 innings. It's his first career win against the Chicago White Sox. He improves to 13-10. As we stand right now, the Royals have a 1-game lead, or 1-game deficit, with the Tigers and Twins wrapping up at Target Field, and that big series coming up beginning on Friday night. Let's go down to the field, and here's Joel.
Ryan, thank you. Joined right now by Nori Aoki and his translator, Kosuke. Nori, you were on base 13 out of 15 times in this series. But the first thing we need to do is say, here it comes. And Kosuke, too. Okay. Anyway, you ever had a series like this before?
Yeah, 初めてです.
No, first time.
All right, so what is it like to hear a big crowd chanting Nori?
ノリって、ノリコールがあるっていうのはどんな感じですか？
いや、信じられないですね。いや、本当嬉しいです。ありがとうございます。
It's unbelievable. Thank you guys very much.
How much fun are you having?
どれくらい楽しいですか？
いやね、カンザスに来てこんなになんか自分の名前を呼んでもらうとは思わなかったから本当にびっくりします。本当信じられない、そういう気持ちです。
I never thought people would be calling my name in Kansas City, so it's no, thank you very much.
Last thing, and about the fans again, you finally made an out at the end, and they gave you a standing ovation. What did you think when you saw that?
最後、青木さん打ち取られましたけど、なのに、スタンはファンはみんなスタンディングオベーションしてましたけど、それについてはどう思いますか？
いや、それも本当嬉しいことだと思うし、何よりもね、そうやって今こうやって優勝争いしてるのがやっぱりそういうなんかこうヒットが続いた原因だと思うし、本当になんかファンの声援がね力になってると思います。ありがとうございます。
I'm really happy about that, but just being in the playoff race and being able to play for a championship and being here, seeing the fans out here cheering us on, we really appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
You got in English? Thank you. English?
Thank you so much.
There it is, Nori Aoki, the hero of the night and the series. Safe to say, Ryan, he is absolutely a new crowd favorite at Kauffman Stadium.
Just like he was during the very first homestand. And we've learned a lot about Nori, his great personality all season long. We've also learned a little bit of Japanese along the way. You and I both spent some time in Japan, and I just learned that final out in Japanese is final out. Did you notice that when Kosuke was explaining the final out? I heard him say final out.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, though, what a series to remember.
As far as reaching base in this series with the White Sox, 13 times in 15 plate appearances. We'll be right back.